Hey everybody, Johnny B. Good here, still located somewhere in Northwood, Iowa. Alright, the local time is 12:12 p.m. Temperature is 37 degrees. Alright, let me address a little bit of somewhat of an issue or a topic recently brought by my video Moo. Okay, first of all, it was not my intention to show an offensive video. I didn't even think about that was offensive or not, or try to irk somebody, or I was just simply trying to show a video of how, certain truckers, what kind of truckers are out there. Some of us fall reefer, some of us fall oversized flatbeds, drive vans, and yes, there are cattle drivers out there. In trucker lingo, we call them bull haulers. It was not my intention to offend anyone, and I personally don't think it was offensive. But unfortunately, one was very, very, very offended, and I guess he's one of those animal lovers that I don't know. Anyway, he made some really nasty comments about, he hoped and prayed that driver would die in auto accidents. And really, I don't think the animals were mistreated. I mean, that's not the issue I'm trying to, whether you believe that was inhumane, the way they transport animals to wherever they were going, was either going to the feedlot or to slaughterhouses or whatever. The issue is like this: if you're willing to condemn that driver, you can't stop there. You can't stop and just condemn the driver and that's it. You have to condemn the farmers. You have to condemn the people that labor to grow the feeds. There are people that make those trailers. There are people there are so many people involved in that operation. You have to condemn them too. You have to condemn the farmers out there that grows the cows, that raise the cows, that grows the feeds. You have to condemn the people that make the tires and engines and the metals, and it's a whole chain link. I can go on and on and on about who to condemn if you're going to condemn that driver. I don't think it was fair for you to say that. To hope and die that the driver dies in an accident. I mean, man, your sense of morality and righteousness is so warped. And you know what the worst part is? If you're gonna condemn that driver, don't forget to condemn those little kids that go to McDonald's and eat those burgers. Are you willing to say that? For the sake of animals? Look, I'm not advocating the mistreatment of animals. But you gotta make a choice. You gotta make a choice whether man or animals. Man, I don't know. I seriously doubt that you would say, yeah, kill them all. I hope everyone involved in that operation dies in an auto accident. Because if you're gonna condemn that driver, each and every one of us is involved in it. Does that make sense? Transporting those animals and raising those animals, man, there are endless of people involved. You know, I don't know what morality, whose morality you call to, but I think the very important morality and righteousness that really counts is God's righteousness and morality and His guidance. God says, have dominion on the earth and everything, every creeping things, everything He has made. Man were to have dominion over everything. Welcome to Minnesota. I highly suspect that you say that because you don't understand the sovereignty and the will of God. As I said, your beliefs are all warped and all, man, you're all torn up inside. Seek His face, seek His righteousness, seek His guidance. Be free. Be free of all the worries of the world. Break off that chain. And the kind of the funny thing was, he said he was very offended by that video, that he banned me, as if it was my fault for that driver's so I take it he's no longer gonna watch my videos, but I suspect that he will still be watching my videos. Isn't that the way we go? The more we hate people, the more we hate things, the more it entices us to keep coming back and watch it some more. No. By the way, I would like to there goes the Johnny B. Good brain for today. Let me try to say this, if I can say it. Reiterate the point I was trying to make on my last video about the love and hate of God. If I may say it, I know I'm kind of beating the horse on this, the dead horse, as you guys say it. The love and hate of God can be clearly seen demonstrated in the cross of Jesus Christ. How much does God hate sin? God hates sin that he had to crucify his only begotten Son. And at the same picture, how much does God loves us that he had to crucify his Son? Does that make sense at all? The crucifixion of Jesus Christ demonstrates two things: the love of God and the hate of God. And what I kind of failed to mention was, if you know that sin that you thought about, that sin that you're thinking about right now, that sin that you're living with right now, if you think that God tolerates it, or God, well, it's okay, it's not. It is not. You know, a long time ago, I claimed to be a Christian a long time ago, and yet I was living an immoral, sinful life. And the thing that I could just draw back on that right now, or look back, was, oh, what a fool, what a stupid, wicked fool I was to believe that I could claim myself to be a Christian and be in a relationship with someone, live with someone, and not be married, and think, well, God, you know, it's okay. This God loves me. It's okay. He'll forgive me. Man, you know, the thing that I could really be glad and be thankful for was God did not allow me to die in my sin. It's not okay. You know, fornication is not okay. Look, why did we want to be a Christian? I'm talking to my fellow believers out there. Why did you become a Christian? Because you hate yourself for being a sinner. You became a Christian because you want to live a godly life. You became a Christian because you hate your sin. And now you claim to be a Christian and still live a sinful life. It's one thing to live as a Christian and once in a while sin. You know, as long as we are in this body, in this earth, we will sin. But to blatantly live a life that you know is a sinful life, that is affront to God's moral law, that's something else, man. You are deceiving yourself. One way to know, you know, God always speaks in the Bible as examine ourselves moment by moment. Are we a real Christians? And if we claim to be a Christian, are we living a godly life? Are we living a life that is holy and that is pleasing to God? To be a Christian is to live a life that is pleasing to Him, not continuous sinning and to live in sin. So examine yourself. We have to examine our hearts. If we claim to be Christians, we are to hate our sin. We are to hate our sin as God hates sin. So again, the love and hate of God is be seen in the same picture as the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. If you don't have Jesus Christ in your heart, if you don't have His peace, do it today. Ask Him, seek Him. He promised that whoever knocks, He will open the door. Jesus said, whoever comes to me, I will no way cast out. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are. As long as you are to seek His face, to seek His righteousness, and to seek His forgiveness, He will be faithful to forgive us. And you know, the most liberating thing I heard this morning was, it was so liberating. I was listening to a song, a worship song that said, my sin is no longer charged to me. My sin is no longer with me. I bear my sin no more. That's the exact phrase was. I think this song, All Is Well, listen to that song and then the lyric says, I bear my sin no more, because you know why? He bore it for me. He bore it for me. So I no longer have to be bothered by the things that I've done in the past. Sure, I can be sorrowful and I can grieve over my sins in the past, the horrible things that I've done in the past. I can grieve over that. But you can also be in comfort, as I did this morning. Just as the song says, I bear my sin no more, because He bore it all. He already bore it all, so we don't have to. And that right there is the very essence of Jesus Christ's gospel. I bear my sins no more, past, present, and future. And you know, most of the time I feel so inadequate. I feel so short. I feel so wicked. I feel so I'm not qualified to represent God, or I can't worship Him enough. And the devil's telling me, well, you ain't worthy, and yeah, that's one thing that is true. I am not worthy. And that's when God's grace comes in. That's when the more you feel inadequate, the more God's grace abounds. Lastly, God's grace is not for the purpose of let's continue sinning because God will forgive us. Oh, no. It doesn't work like that, dear people. Anyway, we are here to fuel. So driving to off duty. We'll catch you later. Peace.